are on there because we've raised concerns about health and safety. In an industry that's got the highest fatality rate in the country, bar any other industry, for raising concerns about health and safety, that was what got you put on the building industry blacklist. Because for us, it was about saving people's lives. For the employers, it was about saving money. You know, they were only interested in protecting their profits, and if they got rid of us, then their profits would be increased. That's why they had to go at us. They didn't like me because I spoke like Alf Garnier. They didn't like me because I was there as a collective voice for workers in the industry. And if it was just the employers not liking me, then all right, to a certain extent I could put up with that. I'm a trade unionist. I'm not the only trade unionist in the country who's been victimised by their employers. But since this scandal was broken in 2009, more and more stuff's come out. And what we now know is that the police were intimately involved with the blacklisted and trade unionists in the building industry. We know this because first of all from a whistleblower, and then later on from more and more documents that have been released. People probably remember the stuff that's been in the newspapers quite recently about undercover police officers spying on the Stephen Lawrence family. The undercover police officer, his name is Peter Francis. I knew him back in the 1990s as Peter Black because he was undercover in London spying on trade union activists back in the 1990s. Allegedly, he was there to spy on anti-racist campaigns. I'm proud to be an anti-racist campaigner. I'm proud to have fought against the British National Party. You know, I don't expect police to be spying on me because I have done this. We've seen the blacklist files of some workers. One of my friends, Frank Smith, is a bricklayer from Liverpool. His blacklist file says he's under 24-hour watch officially and considered to be politically dangerous. We showed that blacklist file to Peter Francis, the undercover police officer who's turned whistleblower, and Peter Francis said he personally opened the special branch file on Frank Smith, and that information on his blacklist file was the information that Peter Francis put on his special branch file. Frank Smith has got a girlfriend. Her name's Lisa Torsha. She's a white, middle-class American woman who came over here in the 1990s. She was Frank's girlfriend, and she was also involved in anti-racism work. She's also got a blacklist file, a construction industry blacklist file. The only thing it says on her file is girlfriend of Frank Smith. Now, to be honest, some people have met Frank Smith, so that's enough to get you blacklisted. But the point being, you explained to me how a manager on a building site has even heard of Lisa Torsha, let alone why he should think that she should be added to a blacklist about people in the construction industry. There's a link. The undercover police officers who were spying on us were putting this information on the special branch. It's known as a registry. It's their central database, and there is a section within special branch called the industrial section of special branch. Their entire purpose is to supply big business with information about trade union activists. That's what they're set up for. They're quite open about it. And the undercover police officers who were spying on the activists were supplying this information to special branch, and special branch industrial section were giving this information to the employers. Peter Francis is one of them, but there's others. One of the police officers, who we also knew at the time, his name's Mark Jenner. He was also involved in trade union work in North London in the late 1990s. I knew him when I knew him. His name was Mark Cassidy. And the woman that he lived with for 3 years, because he was sent in and she was one of the targets he was meant to spy on them, her name's Alison. He lived with her for 3 years. That's how this special demonstration squad, or section of special branch operate. They sent in people, they lived with us for 3 or 4 years, carried it. His cover story was that he was a building worker. He used to turn up on our picket lines. UCAP, the union, have checked through their database, and for a 3-year period when he was deployed undercover, he was a member of UCAP. Apparently, he was there to spy on anti-racism work, but when he left, having lived with this woman, Alison, that he was there to spy on for 3 years, when his deployment finished and he left, he was married, by the way, a married copper, when he was sent in to do this. When he left his diary there. And when we went through his diary, we found that most of the information in his diary was actually about union meetings that he used to attend. You know? Not about anti-fascist work at all. Not only was he a member of UCAT, not only was he turned up on our picket lines, he chaired some of our meetings. I've been at meetings where this undercover copper is chairing the meetings. And yet, when the exact same time, when you see people's blacklist files, the same area, masses and masses of names all appear around the same kind of area, it was absolutely obvious that this information has been supplied by this undercover copper, Mark Jenner. Bob Lambert, another one people may have heard of. Bob Lambert was the hero of this special demonstration squad. According to the police, this man is an absolute hero of British policing. He was sent undercover, and during the early 1980s, he spied on a group called London Greenpeace. While he was spying on London Greenpeace produced a leaflet that they gave out outside McDonald's. And McDonald's sued them for it. It ended up being the longest running court case in British legal history. Greenpeace basically said that McDonald's food, you know, is bad for kids. They're ruining the environment, they're terrible at labour rights all around the world, and McDonald's sued them. And 2 people with London Greenpeace refused to back down on it, and they defended themselves in court. It's called McLiable. They've made a film about it, there's a massive book about it. It's, every law student nowadays who does a law degree has to do McLiable. It's seen as one of these set case legal cases. Bob Lambert wrote the leaflet. He was partially responsible for writing the leaflet that they put out. And the woman that he spied on, and he was targeting, while Bob Lambert had kids, himself was married with kids, he had children with her. The woman's name's Jackie. In the press recently, she's just been given £425,000 because this undercover copper who was spying on her because she was an environmental activist, when he was spying on her, lived with her and actually had children with her before his deployment ended, and he then saw them again for around 20 years. These people are scum, in all honesty, absolute scum, and they are spying on activists. Special branch, you know, MI5, GCHQ, you know, when we talk about, you know, China and Eastern Europe and places like that having secret political police that spy on dissidents, we've got them in this country as well. That's what Special Branch do. They're undercover special police units that spy on political people that they don't like. And the political people that they don't like is us. The trade unionists is who they don't like. We're the people that they're spying on. These, you know, you want to know a member of the CWU was spied on by the police? The McLiable two people, one of them, her name was Helen Steele. She appears on the construction industry blacklist. She was also an undercover police officer, was living with her for 3 years. His name was John Dines before he left. The other member of the McLiable team, his name's Dave Morris. He's a postal worker in Harrogate in North London. He's a member of the CWU. And he also, as a postal worker, appears on the construction industry blacklist. Once again, you tell me why he would be of any interest whatsoever to a construction firm, but now we know that the police are into it, absolutely where this information is coming from. And if that weren't bad enough, we now know, because just before Parliament was dissolved, John McDonnell MP